Association and your Washington Wizards are committed to a safe and enjoyable sports experience. We therefore ask you to refrain from any disruption of activities such as fighting, attempting to enter the court or interrupt play, or using improper language or gestures. Spectators engaging in such behavior are subject to ejection and possible arrest. Please report any violations of these rules to the nearest usher, security guard, or arena staff.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us for NBA action. Well, Grant, when you take a look at this matchup, both these teams feature an impressive backcourt.
No question, B.A.
Going with almost an entirely new group here. Al Horford's checked in for Kristaps Porzingis. Hauser comes in for Jason Tatum. MP's checked in for White. And Pritchard is subbed in for Holiday. And coming into the season, MP was very open about his motivation. He wants to prove he's the best rookie in the class.
Well, you love the extra work MP has been putting in at practice and in the film room. He's talked about how he wants to grow faster, and I can certainly say I'm excited to watch how MP develops.
Well, if you followed MP on his path to the NBA, you know the one criticism of his game is that he can defer too often, Grant.
And at times...
Young. I've been way too teed to ever let one of these play with me. Stay out the way with me. It get hot like a block on a day when it's 80 degrees. Top out the top on the land. It was me and Chance was in Miami like the Heat. Top out the top on the...
And it's the Hawks ball. They're on a 15-6 run. Something we talked about not too long ago was MP's mission to be the best of his rookie class. Really trying to distinguish himself.
And I think MP is on track to execute. Maybe not quite where he expected to be, but there's still room for improvement in his game, and he's only a rookie. And all the goal stuff aside, MP as a rookie has been playing very well.
On the court for Atlanta. In the post, it'll be Johnson and Okongwu. Then there's Karis LeVert. Then it's Terrence Mann. And it's Pumpkin in at the point. From the arc. And he trains the three. Good-looking shot there from Abdul-Jabbar. The Hawks trail by 4. Here's LeVert. Hasn't made one yet. Here's the three. And that one is off. No shortage of scoring here at the end of the first quarter. Bulls lead by 4. And the second quarter will... And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And to look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Bulls.
Well, the coaching staff's game plan is very clear. Move the ball on the perimeter and shoot the shots with no hesitation.
And something else that I liked is how they attack the paint, finding ways to get inside and capitalize time and time again.
Smith is out there with Collins. Then it's Bruce Ellis. Then it's Kareem. And it's Jones in at the 1. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. And now we've got some time to check in from the sidelines. What do you got for us, D.A.?
Hey, Kevin. Bulls coach Billy Donovan keeps perspective. He says, I used to come back from a tough road loss, go straight to the office and pull an all-nighter, trying to figure out what went wrong. My highs were too high and my lows were too low. You have to realize so much of it is just luck. The breaks of life. Kevin?
That's right, D.A. We respect Billy Donovan as much as any coach in the NBA. But a good outlook there, you're right. Hey, thank you. And we've got our 2K insider, Shams Charania, on the line. Shams, what's the story?
Thanks. Many consider this summer to be the most challenging field in the history of international basketball. Nevertheless, Team USA got it done in Paris. It's not getting any easier, but the star power of the U.S. men's team shined bright in the City of Lights. Guys, a classic ending for a stacked U.S. roster.
You're right. What a performance. Hey, Shams Charania with the report. Thanks, Shams. Here's LeVert. Misses from close range.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
The Hawks trail by 10. Now Rizachet. And the dunk by Rizachet.
Yeah, if you give Rizachet a chance at the rim, he's going to make you pay.
Greg, since making it to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2021, the Atlanta Hawks haven't been that good.
And it was hard to tell if that was a Cinderella run at the time, but Kevin looking like that might have been the outlier. The Hawks took some risks to get back there, but it just hasn't worked.
Okongwu with it. Scoreless thus far. And the basket is good.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high percentage looks from inside.
Here's Abdul-Jabbar. Sweet little floater. Abdul-Jabbar's got the lead up to 11 now for Chicago.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
LeVert against Jones. Comes past LeVert. And the dunk by Rizachet.
A solid passer at his position. LeVert excels at finding his teammates when they're open.
Abdul-Jabbar for three. And the Bulls another three.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. Last five makes are from beyond the arc.
And we'll have a timeout called by Quinn Snyder. This will give him a chance to just... And so it's Chicago in very good shape with a 23-point lead at the end of the quarter. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. We've got more in store for you right after this.
Thanks. Well, right now for Chicago, they're still at the bottom third of the league. Something will need to change for them to move up in the rankings.
We knew this team would need... Now let's talk about that lopsided first half. Obviously a lot of work to do for the Hawks. And that about wraps...
And with a big... with some changes. Smith comes in for Kevin Huerter. And Abdul-Jabbar subbed in for Josh Giddey. Atlanta also making some changes here. Mann comes in for Daniel. And it's LeVert in for Young. On the court for Atlanta. The pairing up front, Johnson and Capella. Terrence Mann is out there with LeVert. And it's Rizachet in at the three. And so LeVert will bring it up for the Hawks. The three. 2 minutes remaining. It's all in by the Bulls. Vucevic has got 5 rebounds tonight.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control. And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Chicago making some changes. Collins checked in for Vucevic. Hall comes in for Buzelis. And Jones subbed in for Kobe White. And a switch here also for Atlanta. Matthews is checked in.
From range, LeVert's one of those guys you have to respect his shot. He makes enough from beyond where you have to honor it.
Abdul-Jabbar can't get it to go. The Hawks shooting a mediocre 41% in this one. And it's LeVert missing.
Well, he just doesn't have it right now. It's as simple as that. And his team is struggling as a result.
And you have to have an appreciation for Ball's passing skills. I mean, he just sees the floor beautifully, easily working the ball over to open teammates.
Here's the Hawks with the ball. 1:09 left to play here in the third. Matthews, no one around him. His three-pointers off the mark. Abdul-Jabbar in the post. Capella's there, and it's Abdul-Jabbar. That time on the assist by Collins.
And Matador defense, that's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
An unorganized defense like that is not going to help them close this deficit.
Pass to Capella. Johnson for three. Gets it to drop, and now he's shooting at a 5 for 8 clip.
Well, he's been able to find points, just not enough of them. They've got to string together some more buckets.
Here's Abdul-Jabbar. Lays it up off the glass. Abdul-Jabbar's got 10 points now just in this quarter.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
6-second difference between the shot and game clock. Capella with a screen on Smith. On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe.
And, of course, we'd all like to see his percentage at the line improve, but he just does not have the touch right now. He's in the 60s.
That one misses.
Well, he might have been a little passive in the first half, but that's changed. I like this more aggressive approach.
Here's Abdul-Jabbar. And the dunk by Abdul-Jabbar.
Well, overall, they're the team getting the better looks here in this second half.
Yeah, they've looked really in sync after the break. Getting the shots they want and converting them.
And so it's the Chicago Bulls with a massive lead. Now let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
And definitely deserving of the prize tonight. How about the read he made here? Looking like a point guard, putting the pass right on the money.
Well, his height gives him the ability to see the floor, and he makes a quick decision and a great pass.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. Collins is out there with Williams. Then it's Trey Jones. Then it's Ball. And it's Abdul-Jabbar in at the 2 spot. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Here's LeVert into the lane.
And just so good at reading angles. When LeVert spots a lane to the rim, he is all over it.
Abdul-Jabbar in the post. LeVert defending. No good on that one. Here's Krejci. That's good. And it's LeVert with the assist. LeVert's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Outside, Abdul-Jabbar. Shoots over LeVert. Krejci with the rebound. For Atlanta, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the 4th quarter started. And here's LeVert. Here's Niang. Off target with his 3. About a minute and a half into the 4th quarter now. And that one's good by Abdul-Jabbar.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
Pass to Krejci. You know, Stan, when I think of you as a coach, I think defense. So let me put you on the spot as you assess the wing defenders in the NBA right now. Who are some of the top 2 or 3 that you know?
Well, look, there's so many good ones. My favorite right now is Lou Dort because he's so strong, he's so disciplined, and he has an amazing ability to use his body even against guys that are a lot taller. He is a frustrating guy for great scorers to play against.
Now, he brought a lot to the NBA, but haven't the Thunder done a good job developing that kid?
Well, they have, and look, they've got other great defenders too, like Jalen Williams.
Fires it up, and the Bulls tack on 2 more.
Well, he's had a night. This team feeds off of his energy, and every time they've needed a bucket, he's delivered.
Pass to Okongwu. The NBA has always been a star-driven league, Greg, and that's reflected in team strategies now more than ever before.
It is. All over the league, teams now building their systems around their stars, surrounding them with complementary players and running the offense to them as much as possible.
Abdul-Jabbar for three. Okongwu grabs the board. For Atlanta, they've gone 3 of 7 from the floor in the fourth. That's a 42% mark in the quarter. 2 points. That one goes.
Yeah, you wish you found these buckets every possession. Right under the hoop with little to no resistance.
Abdul-Jabbar with the bucket.
Well, this is what you're trying to do. Put the game away.
Yeah, but you can't let up now. We've seen too many wild comebacks in this league.
And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth.
Well, the defense just gave him that shot, and he wasn't able to convert. Very disappointing.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Bulls.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And with this effort tonight, grabbing their 8th win of the year.
And continued dominance against this team, winning both of their matchups this season.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Mr. Clutch.
Yeah, you know, he was a man on a mission. This one, the defense had absolutely no answers for him tonight.
We've got 33 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Here's Niang. Good D by Williams.
Well, the defense was right where they needed to be to stop the layup. Great awareness and effort.
The shot's good from Abdul-Jabbar.
Inspired tonight. They fought hard and at crucial points just made the plays.
Yeah, they saved their best basketball for this home stretch, and they certainly earned this one.
LeVert with the wide open look. No good on the three. There's the three. And good! There's another.
My goodness. 50 for the game.
Yep, he is putting on a show. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. And they're off to a great start in the...
Huge moment on the show today as I am ready to unveil my ultimate NBA.
MP, you are the straw that stirs the drink. MP got the job done tonight, as usual. I hate the Spurs. Make sure you win tonight, or it's a long flight.
All right, baby. Let's get down.
Welcome to 2K Sports, everyone. We have some exciting and close to a quarter of the way into the season now, Grant. How aware are the players of where they are in the season?
You know, B.A.
Deciding to change it up. And we've got a timeout called by Greg Popovich. He'll take the opportunity to regroup. And And MP said he wanted to outplay every player in his rookie class. Easy to say, much harder to do.
In terms of rookies, MP is up there in talent, and we've seen flashes of it. I think he's had a good year. I wouldn't call it great quite yet. There's some room for improvement for MP. But honestly, guys, that's all rookies at this point of their careers.
On the court for Chicago, Smith out there with Lonzo Ball. Then there's Zach Collins. Then it's Kobe White. And it's Abdul-Jabbar in at point guard.
Backing up that last three with another three. The defense has to stop giving them so many clean looks.
Here's Paul, and he gets it to go. Now 2 of 6 in the game.
An excellent mid-range shooter. Once Paul gets any kind of airspace, he's taking that shot.
The 3, and again, it's the Bulls from deep.
Man, they're having a hard time defending the triple. That's 3 in a row.
30 seconds left in the first. Here's Wembanyama. Oh, Wembanyama throws it down.
Yeah, terrific follow-through from Wembanyama, proving he has a good head on his shoulders.
Floats one up, and the layup is good. Abdul-Jabbar's got 11 points.
And he has flat out taken over this quarter. Keep feeding the beast.
Now here's Paul. He's closely guarded. Pass to Wembanyama. Off target with a jump hook. And a good game so far as we conclude the first quarter. It's the Bulls up 2. Let's take... And some good action in the books as we get back to a game that's been pretty close so far here. And from what we've seen from Chicago, what's your take so far?
Well, it seems like they went in looking to do damage from long range, and they faced little resistance.
Their points came almost exclusively from beyond the arc, and as this game continues, that should open up the floor for the rest of their offense.
On the court for Chicago, we've got Buzelis. He's out there with Zach Collins. Trey Jones is out there with Ball. And it's Abdul-Jabbar in at the 2. A shot by Johnson, no good. Bulls leading by 4. You know, from the 2020 bubble to late 2021, Zach Collins didn't play a single game. He missed over a year, Richard.
Yeah, underwent ankle surgery, missing a ton of games. Despite that, Zach's come back stronger, really improving all aspects of his game. One of the best passers of all time. All relishes setting the pace and finding his open teammates.
From behind the arc, Abdul-Jabbar's shot is good. Abdul-Jabbar's got 19 points.
They've been pretty lax with their perimeter defense, giving up a lot of three-pointers.
And we've got a timeout called by Greg Popovich. We might see him looking to make some tweaks to the strategy here. And for an idea of how the league is shaping up right now, take a look at these latest power rankings. You look at the Clippers, they're building some momentum right now and aiming for a spot in the top 5.
Well, right now for Chicago, they were hoping to begin the year better. It's still too soon to hit the panic button, but they're heading in the wrong direction.
And now we check in with Allie LaForce. She's got an update on De'Aaron Fox. Allie?
Hey, guys. The head athletic trainer the Spurs provided some info for us. Unfortunately, from the sound of things, it looks to be a torn calf muscle. It's a blow to a team that was hoping to turn up the second half of the season. This is a story that we'll be following very closely.
Okay, thanks for the update. Good to get that information. Now we know how things are coming along, Grant.
That's true. It's the uncertainty factor with injuries that can be so hard to handle.
And you never want to speculate. So it's nice for us, and especially his teammates, to get some facts.
Left side, Wembanyama. Here's Champagnie. No good on the triple.
Shocking that he just bricked that one. The defense got real lucky there.
Oh, wasted no time on that one. He's got 24.
And they found a nice flow offensively here in the second period.
Well, we have a chance to hear from Shams Charania. He's calling in right now. Shams, great to have you on, bud.
Thanks, guys. Well, the Spurs with some experienced additions, bringing in Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes. Their mentorship is likely just as valuable to this young roster as their contributions on the court. And with legendary head coach Greg Popovich, They're creating an environment for growth in San Antonio. They're really building things the right way, guys.
All right, Jones, appreciate the report and keeping us updated from the sideline. Allie LaForce.
A new day. The Spurs' Victor Wembanyama said a few years back it was more of a guards game, but now it's come back to a big men's game. We've got guys all around the league who do a lot of stuff despite being very tall. That's the way the game changes. You just have to adapt. Brian, the gauntlet has been thrown.
And I like it. Good stuff, Allie. Thank you.
And that's the kind of pressure Castle can put on a defense.
And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Bulls.
They've really been dialed in from deep.
Chicago in command with a 13-point lead at the end of the quarter. And they've got a comfortable lead in large part due to their three-point shooting. Back after this.
We know the draft's an inexact science, even with all that prep that goes into it. So congrats to the teams that chose these.
And let's move on to that first half. Talk about a rough start for the Spurs.
They're within striking distance.
And that is going to do it for us. Let's get back.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little. Making a change here. Johnson's checked in. And now we're 3 minutes into this third quarter of play. Pass to Castle.
2 minutes remaining in the third. 2 minutes.
Shoots. Again, the miss by the Spurs.
And you have to think that they're leading this game because of how they've controlled the boards tonight.
You know, Grant, you talk to scouts about Stephon Castle. They just feel like this guy's a winner.
Well, certainly we saw that at Connecticut. Now, as a freshman, he was a key piece in their title run. He actually turned up his game in the tournament, and that's rare for any freshman.
Up front, they're going with Johnson and Wemby. Paul and Castle comprise the backcourt. And it's Barnes in at the three, small forward. That's who's in the game for the Spurs.
The offensive successes due in part to his quality shooting. He hasn't wasted too many looks.
Paul against Paul. Wembanyama screen. Outside Johnson. 4 on the clock. Castle for 3. That one is off.
More than a few bad breaks for him this quarter. He's struggling, and the team is following suit on the scoreboard.
That one falls. Abdul-Jabbar's got 4 points this quarter.
He's been dominant all game long. Nobody on the floor can stop him. And look, let's just say he knows it.
Paul for 3. It's hauled in by the Bulls. White's got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Abdul-Jabbar. And Chicago again with a bucket. And so it's San Antonio with it. They trail by 16. And after this one, they're at home against South.
Okay, look out! Man! Yeah, just a vicious slam from Castle. You know, I have a feeling we'll see a few more of those over the next few years.
Once again, an explosive highlight on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. Abdul-Jabbar misses.
And you got to give credit to the D for never giving up on the play and doing just enough to bother him at the rim.
And the basket by Castle.
And good to see Castle capitalizing from the mid-range. He knows he needs to keep hitting these shots.
4 seconds left. Here's Abdul-Jabbar. Played it in with a nice touch off the window. Abdul-Jabbar's got 35.
And trust me, when the D's slow to react, he'll be the first guy to make them pay.
Yeah, they're going to do a much better job of putting a little bit of pressure on him on his way to the hoop.
And so it's... And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist to the game.
You have to love his unselfishness and ability to make those around him better.
He does do a great job steering the ship for them out there and keeping the offense clicking.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same for the first 3 quarters. And for Chicago, let's take a look. Smith out there with Zach Collins. Then it's Patrick Williams. Then it's Trey Jones. And it's Abdul-Jabbar in at the shooting guard position. As you always say, in the playoffs, you need a player who can score an isolation.
That's true, B.A. And in a 7-game series, defenses disrupt your set offense. If your stars can go mano-a-mano and create something out of nothing, that's often the best you can get.
Pass to Wembanyama. Tries again. Gets another look. Smith with the rebound.
You have to credit their effort. I mean, they've done an amazing job on the glass.
Here's Abdul-Jabbar. The Bulls keep it alive. And a chance now to look at the schedule for San Antonio. On Friday, they'll be matching up against DeMar DeRozan and the Sacramento Kings. Then on Sunday, they'll go up against C.J. McCollum and the New Orleans Pelicans.
And for their matchup with the Mavericks, it's going to be a hard-fought battle. You just hope they are able to execute their game plan, as it should be a close one.
Castle's checked in for San Antonio. McLaughlin comes in for Paul. Here's McLaughlin, defended by Jones. Pass to Castle. From deep, Johnson drills it from deep.
And I tell you that Keldon Johnson has a beautiful three-point shot. When he's feeling it, ooh, man, it's automatic.
Here's Abdul-Jabbar, and he makes it on the layup. Abdul-Jabbar's got 39.
Absolutely ruthless. He's not about to start showing mercy now.
This is what you expect from him, just coming alive and dominating in effortless fashion here in the fourth.
From deep, Johnson. And it's Chicago with a board. And we're about 2 minutes into the fourth here. Abdul-Jabbar's shot is good.
he's been the guy tonight. Really impressive performance.
Here's McGloughlin. To the inside, Wembanyama. Second chance shot, and he sinks the layup. Wembanyama's got 24 points.
And the offensive skills of Wembanyama are a huge part of his high value. And nice to see him delivering.
For San Antonio, Barnes, he's checked in for Mamukelashvili. Vassell comes in for Johnson, and it's Chris Paul in for McGloughlin. So Chicago going with an almost... entire new group here. Nikola Vucevic is checked in for Collins. Buzelis comes in for Smith. Josh Giddey's checked in for Williams. And it's Kobe White in for Jones. Castle misses. Bulls leading by 20. Here's Abdul-Jabbar. Fades away. Count it. Abdul. Jabbar's got 46.
No one there to contest. Didn't really need the fade.
Vassell outside. Here's the three. Gets the three ball to go.
Gotta fight harder to get over those screens.
Yeah, as soon as these guys feel contact, they are just disappearing like they're not even there. You gotta show some fire and keep defending.
Abdul-Jabbar's shot is good.
And this is how he shines. He's a big part of their floor spacing.
Yeah, you got to know where he is at all times, especially when he's roaming around the perimeter ready to fire.
Here's Castle. And there's two. Work on the glass, paying off that time.
Second chance points are always painful. Have to make the effort to box out.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say they need to emphasize rebounding going forward.
And you have to extend that defense. I mean, you really have to stay connected to him at all times.
And the lack of defensive pressure on shots like that is a big reason they're down by double digits.
Wembanyama down low, working on Vucevic. Barnes finds Vassell. Just 5 on the clock. Wembanyama screen. Paul can't get it to go.
And the defense dodged one right there. Not the guy you want to leave open.
Connects again from distance.
Oh my, he is scorching hot. Another three.
And he's approaching the franchise record for threes in a game. Wembanyama, screen on White. Here's a three from Paul. And it's cleared by Vucevic.
Got to find easier shots when you're already struggling. That's not going to get it.
Abdul-Jabbar misses.
You got to move past that one. I mean, they'd want him to take that again.
Yeah, it's a great look for him. One they'll try and manufacture again. Those are the shots you want him to take.
Wembanyama, the layup off target. Chicago with the ball. They're on an 18-7 run. Oh, connects again.
And this game has his name written all over it.
He has been phenomenal. An offensive onslaught. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and the game clock. Wembanyama, high post. Here's Castle. Wembanyama, no good. Here's Abdul-Jabbar. Off target. So it's the Bulls winning this one easily. A statement road victory. So impressive.
Statement indeed, B.A. It wasn't enemy territory, but they controlled the game and took the crowd completely out of it. That's how you win on the road.
Keep it up, MP. Keep chopping wood.
Yeah, MP.
MP's an elite shooter already.
I've talked to people with knowledge of the situation, and they say that MP will be inserted into the starting lineup over the next.
Good win. Let's keep it going.
MP's in the MP's an elite shooter already. To come into the league and knock down threes like that, I'm impressed.
Long season. Time to grab that lunch bell and go to work.
MP's an elite shooter already.
It's your world. We just live it.
Your time at the arena to be enjoyed. Needs to be addressed. Please text the word follow your issue and seat location to 55555. A member of our guest redemption team will respond and address your concern immediately. Our next giveaway is a big one, Chicago. It's Lovable Dance Team T-shirt Day. We'll have a shirt for every fan in the arena, so we can all show our lovable some love. See you there.
Don't forget to come out for our next promotional day. Fans will receive a free reusable Bulls trophy bag. Together, we can make a difference.
Hey, Bulls fans, we can't wait to see you at our next home game, because everyone who attends will get their very own Benny the Bull T-shirt.
A reminder, we hope you come and join us for our singers.
Confident and ready for action, the Bulls as they head into... Thanks for joining us here on 2K Sports for NBA basketball. We're at the point in the season now, Clark, where teams know what they've got. Talk more about that aspect.
Yeah, you know, it's a
with an almost entirely new group here. Collins checked in for Vucevic. Jalen Smith comes in for Buzelis. Balls checked in for Kevin Huerter. And Abdul-Jabbar subbed in for Josh Giddey. And as MP told us at the start of the season, he wants to be at the top of his rookie class. Seen by everyone as the clear-cut standout, how would you qualify his performance in that regard?
Well, MP certainly is playing well, especially for a rookie. But I think he could be doing more to show he's truly elite. He'll have to continue that tireless work ethic to make that happen.
So on the floor for Philadelphia, Oubre out there with Embiid. Then there's Gordon. Then there's Lowry. And it's Edwards in at the three, the small forward. And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, Kobe White became one of the top candidates last season. Player. He says, I always tried to just let the work show. I wanted to prove that I could be a starting guard in this league. Just got to continue to get better every day, be aggressive, and be who I am. Kevin, back to you.
All right, D.A., love that attitude.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Yeah, sensational is a really good word for it. They're tearing it up on the glass.
Well, that's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
The 76ers trail by 9. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Here's Lowry, and he uses the glass on the layup.
A burly, bruising point guard. Lowry is good at using that upper body strength to fight through contact.
Abdul-Jabbar looking over the floor. And no good on the last second attempt this time. Kobe White, he's been feeling it tonight. He's been the driving force for the Bulls. And if you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter in this one. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Bulls?
Well, when you control the glass, you control the second chance opportunities on both ends.
And, you know, their rebounding advantage has been glaring, simply outworking them on the boards for that entire first quarter.
So with Vucevic on the bench, here's the group Billy Donovan has on the floor. We've got Ball, Buzelis out there with Zach Collins. Then it's Kareem, and it's Jones in at the point guard position. And when you talk to people about the Bulls, GA, Michael Jordan's shadow still looms large over this team and organization.
And Kevin, they haven't won a championship before or since he was in Chicago. They've had plenty of good players, Derrick Rose and MVP, Jimmy Butler as well. But the results haven't been good. Defensively, they just look out of sync, not closing out on the threes in time.
Well, I think they're getting caught in that in-between zone, no man's land, giving up 3 straight from beyond the arc right now.
Pass to Oubre. Embiid sets the pick for Oubre. No good from outside.
That's a look you cannot pass up. It's also one you should miss.
Stolen by Walker. 3-pointer, Butler. That falls. Nice feed that time from Walker. Butler's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Embiid with the steal. Butler against Jones. Here's Edwards. Misses from short range.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Stolen by Walker. Edwards with it. And it's Buzelis. Picking him up. And now let's go to the 2K leaderboard. What a month it's been for these teams defensively. Number 5, the Bulls.
And they've just been on a defensive tear. I mean, allowing so few points. And really, I think it's the energy with which they play.
So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group. Vucevic checked in for Zach Collins. Jalen Smith comes in for Bruzzella. Horton Tucker's checked in for Lonzo Ball. And Josh Giddey's subbed in for Jones.
And giving up some inches inside, but makes up for it with an aggressive style.
You know, with that size difference, that's not an easy shot. I mean, I don't care how close to the rim he is, that's a tough shot.
And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, Mr. Clutch in their last game against Indiana was terrific. He ended up with 26 points, and he got lots of great looks. He's shooting it at a high clip. He came in hot off the bench and maintained that play throughout the game. I'm sure his team wants him to do that again. Kevin?
Thanks, David. Yeah, it was a special night for him. The team really fed off his energy.
Yeah, the catalyst for that win, it was an effort that I'm sure he's hoping to replicate tonight.
Yeah, you know, all indications are that he feels good coming into this one. Feels confident that he can build on that prior success.
2 minutes remaining in the first half.
And now the 76ers on the break. Back to Edwards. He goes up again, and that one drops for him.
He's somebody that's really comfortable carrying the offensive load.
Chicago leading.
And how's that for a one-man show? Put this fella on Broadway.
The most magnificent alley-oop we could have seen.
And, fellas, he pulled it off to perfection.
And it's Nick Nurse calling timeout here. He's made the decision. He wants to huddle up with his guy. So for the Bulls, Patrick Williams, he's checked in for Jalen Smith. Kevin. Some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Bulls lead by 1. And we've got more action coming your way after this break.
I like how they've been hitting the boards, man. Playing real hard. That's great sign for the second half.
Yeah, but the score is close. And if they want to put...
And let's move on to the race for Rookie of the Year. A lot of young... That'll do it for our show tonight. Thanks for joining. That first
going with an almost entirely new group. Zach Collins checked in for Vucevic. Williams comes in for Buzelis. Lonzo Ball is checked in for Kevin Huerter. And Abdul-Jabbar subbed in for Josh Giddey. Then for the 76ers, Andre Drummond's checked in for Embiid. Edwards comes in for Yabusele. And Oubre subbed in for Jordan. So on the floor for Philadelphia, they've got Drummond. Edwards is out there with Oubre. Then there's Tyrese Maxey. And it's McCain in at the shooting.
Yes, sir.
That was incredible.
Oh, man. And so far in the second half, this has been a different kind of game than what we saw early on.
No question about it. I mean, these teams are really battling hard now.
.103 left here in the third quarter. Drummond with a screen on Abdul-Jabbar. McCain kicks it out to Maxey. Some nice ball movement here by the 76ers. Such a wide open look. McCain's got 6 in the quarter.
And with that 3, his second of the half, he's equaled his total from before the break.
Abdul-Jabbar can't get it to go. Ball against Maxey. And so it looks like the 76ers will retain possession here. Trey Jones is checked in for White. And the 76ers also making a change. Council's checked in. Maxey on the wing. Defended by Jones for the lead. And that won't go, missing the go-ahead bucket.
I wonder what the score would be if they weren't controlling the backcourt.
It's clearly been their edge, and in a close game like this, you look for every edge you can find.
Takes it inside, and it's Council missing. Oubre with the steal. Now Maxey tries again, and he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. And we've reached the end of the third quarter. Just a terrific game so far. Now let's hear what head coach Billy Donovan was reviewing.
Keep guarding now. We're doing a much better job.
Retext. Quarters behind us. One more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the fourth. And so Lowry will bring it up for the 76ers. They trail by 1. So with Vucevic on the bench, here's the group that Billy Donovan has on the floor. Trey Jones out there with Abdul-Jabbar. Then it's Williams. Then there's Zach Collins. And it's Ball in at the 3 spot. Here's Abdul-Jabbar, and a little luck that time, but it drops. Abdul-Jabbar's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Bulls. Lowry kicks to Embiid. Pass to Council. 6 to shoot. For 3, Oubre. That doesn't go on the chance to tie. Bulls leading by 3. Abdul-Jabbar outside. Oubre with the steal. And wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball.
It'll be a jump ball.
Pass the ball. Now, here is Abdul-Jabbar. Tight defense on him. There's the steal. And now the 76ers on the break. No one near Edwards as he lets it fly. And that one's good. Council. Councils got his first basket.
And guys, all about hard work from this point on. And they worked hard to...
And so it's Chicago winning this one. It was a thing.
Hey, yo, bad play.
Great win tonight, MP. Rough game. Need to take better care of the ball.
I see a lot of people jumping on.
Show night tonight.
From 2K Sports to everyone out there. And with New Year's Day upon us, Grant, what goes through your mind as a player?
Wow, another new year, new possible.
Will make substitutions. And you look at this rookie class. MP continues to scratch and claw, trying to cement his place as one of the best and brightest.
Well, he's made his presence felt, had some excellent outings, and should be proud of his accomplishments. To be frank, there's still room for growth for MP, and it will be interesting to see if he's shown enough brilliance to achieve his goal.
And for Chicago, let's take a look. We've got Buzelis, also Kevin Herter out there. Nikola Vucevic is out there with Kobe White, and it's Abdul-Jabbar in at the point guard position. Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Thanks. Well, Mr. Clutch in their last game against the Hornets was outstanding. He picked up 18 points, and once again, he was lights out from distance. He was a big reason they were able to snap that losing streak, using it as motivation. Guys.
Hey,
Oh, man! Nobody is stopping that.
Way up there in the rafters.
Insane! What a finish! And not often we get treated to a solo alley-oop.
Takes precision timing for sure. Washington leading by 3. When folks talk about Herder, you hear a lot about his movement, Brent.
Well, one thing you have to be in this league as a great shooter is willing to move without the basketball. It puts a lot of pressure on your primary defender, but it can open up some lanes for your teammates. Kevin Herder, an elite skill working without the ball.
So far, rebounding has been a focal point for them.
Stolen by Middleton. Pass to Brogdon. The 3 is up. Rebound by the Bulls. Coming off a win against the Hornets.
They were so consistent from the three-point range in that one. And that's a nice weapon to have as a visiting team.
Yeah, the interesting part was they kept firing away in that game, but the defense didn't make much of an adjustment.
Middleton with it. Guarded by Vucevic. Brogdon with the ball. There's the 3. That's good. His first made shot in 3 attempts.
Well, Brogdon just has a great feel as to when he should shoot it. Most of the time, it's in rhythm and within the offense.
Middleton from the outside. And the Wizards with another 3. And so it's the Washington Wizards with a 9-point cushion at the end of the quarter. They've been very effective from the three-point line. We welcome you back to second quarter action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And now we'll get a perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for Washington.
Well, their hands resulting in plenty of steals in the early going, keeping the opposition there off balance.
And I don't know if everybody's getting in this block party flow, but that's what's happening tonight. They've done a great job of being aggressive on all the shooters.
And for Chicago, let's take a look. Zach Collins out there with Jalen Smith. Then it's Lonzo Ball. Then it's Josh Giddey. And it's Abdul-Jabbar in at the shooting guard.
That's the kind of passing you want there. Work the ball around, keep it moving, try to get an assist on every bucket.
Three-pointer, Kispert. Collins with the rebound.
This has been a close game in a lot of ways, but they do have an edge on the boards.
Well, the last time the Bulls won a playoff series was back in 2015, Greg.
That was back when Butler and Rose were their leading scorers. And it just shows you just how long it's been. But they've been stuck in mediocrity ever since. And right now, they are desperate for a breakthrough season.
Here's Carrington. The Wizards with another miss.
You could see he wanted to get it back. Sadly, he couldn't capitalize from outside the arc.
A wasted trip down the floor. That's not a good shot at all.
Yeah, see the coach? He's got that frown on his face. I think we know why. Not a high percentage look.
Abdul-Jabbar's shot is good. Abdul-Jabbar's got 10 points in the quarter.
Impressive. Their ball movement has been excellent tonight.
Now approaching 2 minutes of action here in the second. And we've got a timeout from Brian Keefe. He's going to gather the troops and talk it over. Well, Brent, since 1980, the Wizards have had home court advantage in the playoffs just one time.
BA, do you want to have anything that you want to share that's positive about the Wizards? I mean, this team has not made it out of the second round in that span. So hard to envision that happening anytime soon. You got a long way to go.
Vucevic, he's checked in for Chicago. Herder comes in for Ball.
That's just a lapse right there. No matter what, somebody has to be there and get a hand up in the shooter's face.
Here's Abdul-Jabbar, defended by Smart. Abdul-Jabbar's shot is good. Abdul-Jabbar's got 14 points for the game. Washington has gotten 6 of 13 shots to go from outside the arc. Pass to Bay. Oh, he got it with a pump fake, but he couldn't finish. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
Well, the Wizards last season for the first time in a long time hitting the reset button. A losing record, no surprise, but they're trying to build something from the ground up. Enough of treading water in the middle, Brian. They're 45 straight seasons without hitting 50 wins, the longest such streak in NBA history.
Oof, not good there, Allie. Thank you. Abdul-Jabbar misses. And so it's Smart who brings up the ball for Washington. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. When this game is done, they'll be off to New Orleans as they take on the Pelicans. It's a quick turnaround on the road. Just one game. Here are the Bulls with the ball. They're on a 12-3 run. 2 points. That one goes. 16 points for him.
Love his shot selection. Good. Good at taking quality shots, whether he's defended or open, he knows how to knock those down.
Here's Brogdon. Brogdon with a strong finish.
How about Brogdon? Doesn't really have explosive speed, but his balance there, able to get it done.
So Washington ends up going with a new group. Here's Ellis is checked in for Chicago. White comes in for Giddey. Here's Abdul-Jabbar. No good with the triple. Here's Sarr. In his last outing, 16 points for him. Pass to Coulibaly. Here's Sarr. Rebound by the Bulls. Vucevic has got 6 rebounds here tonight. Here's Abdul-Jabbar. Oh, and makes it with the kiss. And the Bulls lead by 2.
Their ball movement on this run has been tremendous. It's led to a lot of good, clean, open looks.
Back to Poole. Poole working the interior.
Poole does a great job there, just extending and using his length to have an advantage on that shot.
Here's Abdul-Jabbar. Oh, he pipes it. 9 for 14 and showing no let-up.
You know, they're really being bullied right now defensively. 8 of the last 10 points have come from inside.
Here's Poole. And it's cleared by Vucevic. Vucevic has got rebound number 7 tonight. It's stolen away. Now here's Coulibaly. He's guarded closely. Here's Poole. Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up.
First personal foul.
Well, whenever Jordan Poole is out there, Brent, you expect some highlight reel moments.
There's no doubt that Jordan Poole's the kind of player that's going to take some chances. And sometimes it doesn't go so well, but when the times pay off, B.A., it is spectacular.
6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Abdul-Jabbar's shot is good.
You like how their perimeter game is building out. They're feeling it right now. The smart play. Wait and take the final shot.
Every second right now is valuable to you. That should be their strategy.
Poole outside. Just 3 on the clock. And we're through the first half of play here in what's been a good one. Chicago ahead, up by 2. And we'll see you back here after the break. Third quarter action in just a bit.
For the Western Conference, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Little love going to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Just another big...
Let's switch gears to the Chicago Bulls. They're in a tight one after the first half.
We often talk about efficiency on offense. They were the winner.
Thanks for tuning in.
For a different look here. George, he's checked in for Sarr. Saddiq Bey comes in for Champagnie. Kispert's checked in for Middleton. And Malcolm Brogdon is subbed in for Coulibaly. Bey passes to George. And here's Brogdon. Back to George. Kispert outside. Pass to Bey. To the paint. And there's Poole on the assist from Bey. Poole's got 5 points now in the quarter.
It's interesting. They definitely had more three-point attempts in the first half. Not sure why they went away from it.
Corey Kispert out there with Saddiq Bey. Then there's George. Then it's Malcolm Brogdon. And it's Poole in at the point. That's the 5 on the floor for the Wizards. For 3. And it's Chicago with a board.
You wonder what the score would be if they weren't controlling the glass.
Here's Abdul-Jabbar. Sinks it from distance. And now it's an 8-point Bulls lead.
He's been a steady presence for them. Nice to have that kind of safety net at the offensive end.
9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Here's Poole. Connects on the 17-footer. Poole's got 14 points for the game.
And Poole knocks that one down without worry.
Here's Abdul-Jabbar. 27 points for him. And they call an illegal screen here.
You're not going to fool the officials too often on an illegal screen.
Yeah, everybody saw that one. That was pretty blatant there.
And here's Brogdon. 7 points in the game. That three's off the mark. The pull-up Jay. And at the buzzer, count it.
Just textbook. Kept his cool and waited for his shot.
That's exactly how you want to close out the quarter, too, with some confidence.
And so it's Chicago, finishing the quarter with an 8-point lead. Looking to run whenever they can. That's part of why they lead. We'll be right back with you shortly. All right, let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
You have to love his unselfishness and ability to make those around him better.
Great hands, great vision. That makes great things happen for your offense.
Fourth quarter action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. On the court for Chicago, Smith out there with ball. Then it's Josh Giddey. Then there's Zach Collins. And it's Abdul-Jabbar in at the 2. Here's Brogdon. And it's Giddey with a rebound. Giddey's got 4 rebounds in the game. Puts up a 3. Abdul-Jabbar's shot is good. Abdul-Jabbar's got 10 points in just the second half. All right, on the line, we've got our insider, Shams Charania. What do you have for Shams?
Well, guys, teams are all grappling with this new CBA, especially the dreaded second apron. Fans possibly unclear on what it means. Honestly, even front offices are still navigating the complexities of the new restrictions. But basically, it has become harder for teams to spend big and acquire new players under the current systems. We'll see, guys, how this impacts everyone moving forward.
Something to keep an eye on, no doubt. All right, Shams, thanks a lot. Oh, got that one up quick. Abdul-Jabbar's got 35.
This defense is getting spaced out. 3 of the last 5 buckets have come from way beyond the arc. Oh, come on, B.A. I mean, where is the defense? That's just too easy.
They got to do a much better job in help.
Yeah, we see this all too often. The team gets a huge lead, and then their guard gets let down.
Pass to Carrington. 3-pointer off the mark.
He's not the guy that you want to give a wide-open look from 3-point range. They're lucky that that one doesn't cost them.
Abdul-Jabbar's shot is good.
Man, they're having a hard time defending the triple. That's 3 in a row.
And timeout is called by Brian Keefe, looking to get everyone dialed in and engaged. For Chicago, Nikola Vucevic is checked in for Collins. Buzelis comes in for Smith. And it's Kobe White in for Ball. And let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
Hey guys, while Brian Keefe was just reviewing the plan with his team, coach telling their players, let's play with urgency. This is the game. I know we'll win if we play hard. Let's see how the team responds.
Thank you for that, Allie. And that one's good.
Middleton looking pretty comfortable right now playing in the pick and roll, whether it's passing the ball or shooting it. Right now making good decisions.
Abdul-Jabbar's shot is good.
12 consecutive points off of 3s. This defense looks rattled.
Bulls got room. It's hauled in by the Bulls. Vucevic has got the glass covered here tonight. That's 11 boards for him. Here's Abdul-Jabbar. And again, it's Chicago with a 3.
Just incredible. I mean, he's really making it rain out there, knocking them down one after another.
Kind of like he's in his living room right now. He's found a comfort zone. Once he gets that, the defense knows they're in trouble.
Poole from long range. Oh, using that sweet stroke. Poole connects from deep.
And that's just Jordan Poole. You get 3, I get 3 back.
Here's Abdul-Jabbar. A quick look, no good that time.
I admire the play call. They just couldn't capitalize.
Yeah, an efficient offensive possession. They found the look that they wanted, just didn't go in.
And Poole launches it from deep. Again, the miss by Poole. Bulls leading by 13. Launches it. Sinks the tray. Abdul-Jabbar's got 47 points.
And it only makes sense to give him the rock again. He put the team on his back all game.
Yeah, he's feeling it. Keep feeding him until he misses.
Middleton, no good. And for the Bulls, they're shooting 64% for the game. Amazing.
They came out and had a statement win with their performance tonight. A fantastic effort to get it done here for the Bulls.
When you look at their assist totals, you can see why it was easier for them to score. The ball was really popping tonight.
And good things seem to happen when you're patient and willing to make the next pass. Their offense has flowed really well.
And a good performance to bring them their 18th win of the year.
But they've got 2 more chances to get some revenge. The matchup doesn't favor them, but against a conference opponent, they're going to battle hard.
And one player just stole the show tonight, doing everything for his team. A monster night for Mr. Clutch.
It looked like a couple times they might be wearing him down, but not the case. At the offensive end, he was just devastating.
Three-pointer is up. Middleton. And it's cleared by Vucevic.
And the defense got away with one there. I mean, that's a shot he typically makes.
Here's Abdul-Jabbar. Offensive board. Giddey. And there's the bucket. Staying with it that time. Offensive glass, getting it done.
They really came in with the right mindset today. I can guarantee you their flight home will be filled with some smiles.
Yeah, when you step into an opposing team's arena and you can play with this type of composure, boy, that food tastes good on the way out of town.
And again for 3. Buries his 10th triple of the game.
Unbelievable, B.A. Unbelievable.
Outside Coulibaly. The Bulls winning this one easily. To walk into enemy territory and deliver a performance.
Great win tonight, MP.
MP got the job done tonight, as usual.
MP, keep taking him to church, my guy.
So how you feeling about your recent play?
Not gonna lie, Coach, I feel pretty good.
What's up, everybody? I see MP's made his way.
It's game time, MP. You ready to put that work in?
MP in the house. Our season is much longer and represents.
Don't tell me y'all having a party without me.
I want to focus on road games. If we're going to hit our goals...
Fantastic. Sounds like we're in total alignment.
Just remember, every...
Look out there, MP.
Good to see you, MP. You gonna show us something special tonight?
Over here, over here.
Look out there, MP.
Mascot mini flags will be handed out by Google. Autographs are available for the first 100. At 1-4, 6'8", number 4.
Here we are in the middle of the season, and Doris, are most of these teams where you expected they'd be in the standings?
I think, Kevin, what's always fascinating about the way a season plays, there's usually one or two surprises. It might be a team-driven surprise, or maybe the emergence of a player that was unexpected. But that is always what you love about this sport. Guys work hard to exceed expectations of them. Same thing can be said of the teams.
And we all know what it